YouTube family, what is up? Wholesale 2 million family, what is up? What is up, my money making community? So, I'm bringing Jenna back again, but today she's going to show you guys how to make how to make your first $25,000 leveraging the software by getting access to the MLS. So, I'm just going to let her take over and we're just going to jump right into it.
Yeah, so great to hang out with you guys. I'm Jenna Hoover. I'm an investor hanging out with you guys, hanging out with this amazing real estate guru here. But what we're going to talk about today is probably one of my most favorite marketing campaigns. And we're going to be talking about the unbelievable software that we're going to be doing everything in. But I'm going to share my screen, guys, and I'm going to take you into one of my most favorite marketing campaigns. The most beautiful thing about this campaign is, other than your time, it costs $0 to do this marketing campaign. So I know we always hear like, oh, I don't have this, or I don't have the time, I don't have the financial resources. If you have the time, this is the marketing campaign to focus on. Other reasons I love this campaign is it gets us into the trenches on day one. So a lot of times we've talked about how do we do direct mail? How do we do skip tracing? And obviously we can provide you the software that you can do everything in, but also it's going to have to take effort and take work from you guys to put in the time. Now, the beautiful thing about this campaign is, again, other than our time we're putting into it, it does not cost us anything. When you hear what we're going to be talking about, you may sit there and be like, oh, really, that's what we were hyping all this up to be. But I'm going to tell you guys, like, this is one of the probably the most overlooked marketing campaigns that we can talk about, and is going to be probably one of the most lucrative as well.
Yep.
Now, all the time that we are here talking, we are always talking about going direct to seller. Like, we have spent a ton of time where we're leveraging our Deals for Me Now software, and we'll talk about where you guys can have access and where you get this and all that kind of stuff. But let's just dive into like the actual content first, so that those of you who can't stay on long, you're actually seeing why this is beneficial. But every time we come in here, we're going to put in our geographic location, and we talk about.
Wait, hold on a second. Before Jenna start, listen, when I first started my real estate career 12 years ago, this is where I get my first couple of deals. It's directly from the MLS, but you don't need a realtor license. And I don't have a realtor license, but I was able to get access because I was able to do some other stuff, right? I was able to get someone to get me access. But in today's, all you need is this software and you can get access. And Jenna's going to, dude, this is freaking crazy. And what's cool about this is, Jenna, you guys just recently launched this, right?
Yeah, and you stole my thunder because you told them what it was first. All right, so everybody better thank you for you saying what we're going to be targeting. But like you mentioned, and I know you probably like couldn't wait to get to it. But like, we're going to be targeting the active listings. We're targeting properties that are actually listed online, and this is exactly what you're saying, Khang, is because before we had MLS like data. And what that means is basically we had an outside source that we were pulling in information, but it wasn't the actual live MLS. Now, like exactly what you said, you can be licensed, you can be not. Like, you're not licensed, and I wasn't licensed for probably my first 7 or 8 years in real estate. Now I am now, just because I want to have some additional streams of income with referrals and things like that, because I am not a full-time agent, and I would be a sucky one if I was. But what we're targeting is we're targeting the low-hanging fruit. Like, we are going after the properties that are actively listed. Now, on all of our other calls, we usually will talk about one of the couple lead types, and we'll like really hit hard on it just to really drive it home for you guys. Like, we've talked about targeting delinquent tax activity. We've talked about building our buyers list and targeting cash buyers. We talked about creative deals where we're targeting properties with low equity, and so on and so forth. And the topic that we're talking about today is basically the MLS offer system. We're going to be talking about how we come into our system, how we find these different properties, how we can look at them, evaluate them, pull comps on them, and make offers on these properties. Now, again, the reason I said that I love this campaign is it gets us in the trenches today. Because again, with all of our marketing guys that we do, all the marketing that we're doing, our whole purpose of marketing is to generate leads so that we can literally be matched with somebody who's essentially waving their arms up and down, jumping up and down, saying, hey, I have a house for sale. Well, why would we not go after the obvious, blatant people that clearly want to sell their house? And in fact, so bad that they hired a real estate agent to be able to market it to get it sold. So the only difference here, like, and I know a lot of you are probably sitting there rolling your eyes like, oh, there's no deals on the MLS. All the good ones are all picked over, or there's too much competition out there, or they just get swooped up so fast. Well, if we are in here and we are actively looking at these on an every single day basis, then you are going to be that person that scoops it up before everybody else, or you will be that person who is knowledgeable enough to analyze these properties and make low enough offers, regardless of what they're listed for, so that you could come in here and get these deals that nobody else is going to have access to. Now, to take it to the next level, exactly like you were saying, Khang, is something this is kind of new. In the past, we had MLS like data. Now, as of today, we are actually live pulling in live MLS data in Texas. This is where we're starting. And then over the next 60 days, we should be pulling in all of the live MLS data feeds all across the country. Now, for some of you, you may be like, okay, cool, but this is freaking massive. Like for those non-disclosure states where you can't see sales prices, we can pull this information. We're not only just pulling in live MLS data, but we are pulling in the last 5 years worth of data. So if any house has ever been sold with a realtor over the last 5 years, you will now have that data in your system that you can access at any time. So
And
just so you want to go ahead, I'll start showing what this
yep,
looks like live if you wanted to add something to that.
absolutely. So also too is I'm gonna show you guys my strategies. How do I work with these agents to freaking get your offer accepted? Like how do you outbeat all the other investors that are actually coming at that same property? I'm gonna show you a strategy, a technique that freaking my dude, how I do it with the realtor to get them to take my offer instead of yours.
You better show that to me too.
Yeah, Jenna.
All right. So what we're going to do, and like I said, we're right now just we've started the integration, and so right now we're live in Texas as of today. So just understand that as we fully launch this over the next couple months, this is going to be getting stronger, bigger, badder, more amazing. There will be little hiccups along the way, like there may be certain information, but you'll see. I mean, it's fantastic. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to type in an area and I'm just going to go to Dallas, Texas, which you can see here. It's actually one of my most recent searches. So if you've ever searched for something in the past and you're like, hey, it'd be nice if I could just click on it right away, like you can do that. So you can either, click it here. And what it's going to do is it's going to mirror whatever I searched right here, which was active listings in Dallas, Texas, showing me that there's over 2,000 different actively listed properties. Now, I love the fact that you said that you could potentially provide some additional training, because I'm going to show you guys a whole lot and it will feel like you're drinking from a power hose. And there's no way that I can physically give you all the ninja tips and nuggets along the way, which is exactly why leveraging somebody like Khang to be able to really like take this information and apply it in real time, because we're going to be going over a lot. So basically what we're doing is now we can combine this with any other lead source. Like if you basically say, I want all these properties to be vacant at the same time, or I want all these properties to be an absentee owner at the same time, or there's going to be numerous different ways that we can continue to filter through. Like one of my favorite things that we talk about all the time on all of our calls, and if you are new, then you can kind of like watch some of our previous calls, because these calls are all independent, but they also build off one another, because the more that the more we can go further each time. But if you see here the filters, there's our sellability score, where the system is leveraging machine learning technology, artificial intelligence, to predict the likelihood of these properties selling in the next 90 days at a couple different types of scoring features. Now you can come in here and you can sift through with AI, but our purpose when we come in here, guys, is to we have all these actively listed properties. Now this is where the system has really drastically changed. And Khang, you probably haven't even seen it more recently, but let me click on one of these different properties. So let me pull it up here. And again, like we're still kind of pulling in all this data. So let me just click on the first one and it shows if it's going to be.
Jenna. Also too is when we're target active listing, what I really want to focus on, Jenna, can we filter them out by days? Like I want to target anything that's 90 days or older. Can we do that?
Would you like it if we could?
Absolutely.
All right, let's do it.
Jenna, can we also target keyword fixer upper, investor friendly?
You're like I love your mind, because this is exactly what we're doing. So like it's almost like you're designing this here. So if you see here, now we can go to days on market.
Love it.
As in this section here, this keyword, like you literally are spot on. Like there's ways that we could come in here and put like, crack slab, needs TLC,
Yep.
investor special, like all these different things here. And again, this will be more like if it doesn't fully operate right now, because today we just went live with this. Like this is, but so you can see here, I'm gonna, do my 90 days on the market, so we can do all that kind of stuff. And you can basically, you can click on any one of these different properties here, see all the behind the scenes information. And again, we're fully, working on this all behind the scenes, but as of today, this will be live. So we should typically pull in, all the images. I'm going to show you let me pull up another region here. I'm going to go to another area. If you have anything that you want to
you guys
bring up here.
Also choose the reason why I want to target things that are 90 days or older, because the longer they're on the market, the more motivated the seller gets, right? So typically I don't want to target anything new unless all the keyword hits. So you punch in all the keyword like Jenna just mentioned, investors, hey, sometimes they even put need to sell fast, fixer upper, handyman, like all of those words are, well, that's exactly what we're looking for. We're looking for property that in distress. We want to deal with seller that's motivated to sell. All right. We don't want to deal with brand new construction, brand new house, or house that they bought 3, 4, 5 years ago. All right, you guys, dude, this is gold. So if you basically it's a gold mine. So you just need to go in here and you just need to dig, and we're going to show you exactly what to dig for. So you're not wasting time just targeting random listed property, because it's just a waste of time. You really want to really just dive in and find all like the diamond in a haystack. Now,
Yeah.
Jenna, can we also set it where it will alert us? For
Yes.
example, oh God, okay.
I know, like this is all the same. Like it's massive. Like I'm just going to give you, just because we're still working on Texas, I'm going to pull in an area that this is kind of like where we're beta testing. So it will show you what the system will look like. And this is why, like when we talked probably last month, when we did our call last month, Khang, and this is like, we started talking about this a little bit, and I'm like, you just have to wait. Like we need a whole call on this just because of how powerful this will be. Because it's almost like you taking the MLS and your software and merging it together and it having a baby. And this is it. Like we're literally pulling in MLS data. We're pulling in all the images. So like, let's say that you come in here, this is what you will experience. Like, let's say you're driving around and you see this place and you're like, you put it into the system and you're like, oh, okay, I want to see any current, if it's actively listed, we can pull it up here. So we can basically come in, we can look at all the pictures in app. So obviously if we're trying to evaluate if we want to make an offer, and we are literally like a fly on the wall, looking from room to room, and the last 5 years worth of MLS images we're pulling into the system. So it gives you the ability to kind of analyze these here. With every property, you're going to be able to pull comps right here. So we can pull comps in app. It's going to give you the description right here. So it's going to be able to tell you everything about it. And again, this is where it's going to be pulling in those keywords. I was trying to find one that looked to be like more distressed.
Right.
So that was like what I was kind of like bouncing around about, because I wanted one.
Hold on, Jenna.
Like,
Cool. So I just want to add in. So earlier, that property that Jenna just pulled up, that property, obviously it looks outdated to me. If I were to look at that property, here's what I would look at. Okay, how long has it been on the market for? Can we go back to that property, Jenna? How long has it been on the market for?
I don't remember which one it was, but I can grab one.
And the awesome thing is that you can actually pull comps. So here, okay, let me give you guys inside of my brain on how I work, how I operate when I look at on-market deals. So the first thing that I look at is, number one, is this property in distress? Which is it outdated? Which means if it's outdated, it's on the market for a long time, and the price has been dropped. Like they dropped the price. That to me, hot freaking lead. So the next thing I do, okay, those are the 3 things I look for, right? Do you guys? The next thing is I'm going to run comps. I'm going to roughly figure out what that property worth after it's fixed up. After that, I automatically minus 30 to 35% from the ARV. And then I just go ahead and shoot an email or a call or a text message to the listing agent. Let me tell you guys why this because some of you be like, well, Khang, why can't I just, go on Zillow and look at this? Let me tell you why. The reason, for those of you who don't understand this, if you want to get your offer accepted, you want to deal directly with the listing agent. And that's why when Jenna tells me this software allows you to know who the listing agent is, because a lot of time when you go on Zillow or Redfin, I don't know how it worked today, but I know that you don't get access to the listing agent. It'll just give you some random agent, and you contact that agent. That agent will get onto the MLS. They will contact the person who lists the property, and they will now all of a sudden you brought in a buyer's agent. So if I was the listing agent, I'd rather work with Jenna, who worked directly with me, so I don't have to split my commission with the buyer's agent. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? So which means when you have access to the software, you know who the listing agent is. So you deal directly with the person who's dealing directly with the seller. So you don't have to bring in an agent to deal with an agent. That agent deal with the seller. Makes sense, guys? And that's how you're more likely to get your offer accepted. So after that, I make my offer, and you guys, it's going to be a numbers game. Real estate is a numbers game. So I'll just text her, I'll just email the agent. And then and a lot of people will be like, well, Khang, so what do we say in our email or text or whatever? Hey, I'm a local investor, or hey, I work with a group of investors, or my partner and I are a local investor, and we're interested in making you a cash offer on this property. Here's our offer. You just want to get straight to the point, because it's really a numbers game. Here's our cash offer. Close in 30 days. Boom, 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 boom. Right? 30 days closing, right? 15 days inspection. Boom. Send it to an agent. Just submit the offer. So I look at the property. All right. If it's in distress, I look at the comps of what the property's worth. I minus 30 to 35% from whatever it's worth. All right. And then I just start sending email. Jenna, do we have contact to the listing agent on the software?
Yeah.
Sure.
That's why I said it's free, because every time, every other campaign we've done, it's like we have to pay to skip trace.
Yep.
We have to pay to direct mail, but we literally give you all the agent contact information.
Show me.
Yeah. So this is why I was saying, like, this is such a fantastic campaign. So anybody who's like, oh, well, I can't afford this, I can't do that, or I don't know how this, like, this is literally the answer to everything. And I love this because it gets us in the trenches right away. So while you were talking, I was trying to pull in one that looked like a potential good deal. Like, this is
what? And guess what? This was not planned, but I will do this. Okay. YouTube family, if you want me to go ahead, text the agent my offer, like Jenna will pull up, I'll text the agent the offer. All right. All I need you guys to do is show me some love, give this video a share, smash that thumbs up, comment in, and say, let's go get this money, Khang.
You're going to be getting some deals in Albany today.
Dude, I'm getting excited. And at the end, Jenna will show you how to get access to the software. Okay. And so she will talk all about it for those of you who have any question about this. Okay.
Yeah. So like, here's like basically what I did is this is giving us like a mirror of what the software will do and how it will behave and interact, like once we're fully integrated here. So this is like an area where we can pull those images and see all the data and things like that. So this is a property here. Basically what I did is I went in and I looked for active listings in this particular area. I looked for a minimum of 30 days because just like you said, the three things I look for when I'm looking at deals on the MLS are, has it been on the market at least 30 days? Does it look like it's in a distressed condition, so it needs work? And does it potentially look vacant? Like, those are my three strikes that I'm looking for. So this one, obviously, it's been on there for at least 35 days. So now it's going to be up to me to look at these images, which we can now see in app, which is something so powerful. Like boarded up windows. Does it need work? Yeah, probably. Does it look and what we're going to do is we're going to look in it. Does it look like it's vacant? Well, it looks kind of livable, but sometimes it may be like an eviction situation. Like telltale signs, guys, will be like, your personal belongings, food, toys, toiletries. So this one doesn't look maybe entirely vacant, but maybe it could be. It doesn't, there's obviously, it probably somebody's living in there. Okay. So when we look here.
Wait, hold on, Jenna. And some of you be like, well, Khang, do I target this property? Absolutely. These are the type of property that I would target. Like if it looks like it's not updated, I don't care if it's vacant. I don't care if it's rented. I don't care, whatever it is. If it looks like it's outdated and it needs work, I will make offer. So what's the agent name, Jenna?
Yeah, so this is Shania Holt, and you'll see here we're giving her email. Once we're fully integrated, it will have her phone number and her email. So we have her email there. So it's Shania, Holt, and then Ellis.
Okay, hold on a second. I will send her an email too. You see, this is the cool thing about cell phone, that for those of you who have Apple, I hate texting, right? I suck at texting, but they have this voice text. Literally, dude, I was just gonna voice text the agent and send it to her. But we don't have her number yet. But we got her email. So let me send her an email. Okay, what's her email again, Jenna?
Her email is Shania, so SH.
Could you comment that in the chat?
Let me see if I can do that.
Dude, we're doing this live with you. Okay. And while I send an email, Jenna, can you show them exactly how they can get access to this software once I get the email? I'm going to send an email and then let's see if the agent respond. Oh, first off, Jenna, what's the asking price?
Yeah. So the asking price on this one is 99,900.
Okay. Have they dropped the price from original asking?
So I'm not able to show that yet. So that will probably be something that will be, because like I said, like we're just pulling in this data, like starting today, as far as like the MLS data.
Sure.
So what I would eventually hope that it would be is it would show all the, the price drops and things like that.
Yep. So asking is 99K. And what's the address, Jenna?
The address is 11. It's Cuyler. Cuyler Street.
Okay, got it. So 99K. What's the ARV?
Well, I didn't pull it yet. So, so basically, we'd have to take some time here and kind of go through so that we have a 3-1, or ours says it's a 2-1.
Okay. So, wait, hold on a second, Jenna. You guys, Jenna is doing this all within the software. So we look at we found the distressed property that we want to submit offer. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out what the property's worth. And that's what Jenna's doing right now. Okay. And Jenna, she's going to walk you guys through how does she figure out the ARV of this property?
Yeah. So like things I'm looking for is how old is this one? This one's from 1890. So I doubt a house from 2013 would be super good. So you can come in here. I may make maybe 1940 would be the latest I would go potentially. I made sure it was only single family, because if I have only a single family, now if you don't have a ton of comps, we could open it to the last year, but I'd never go more than that. And this is where it's important to kind of know your market. Like I'm not from Albany, so I don't really know if like this 787 like is a big make or break. Or this section here is a different school district. Like I'm not familiar with it that well. So basically what I'm going to do, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, hold on a second, Jen. Okay, you guys. So I'm about to send her an offer. So in the subject, all right, dude, I'm walking you guys literally through exactly what I did 12 years ago, all right, to get my first deal. I just put cash offer and then the property address. Dude, you wanted to stand out.
So okay? This is probably a really cheap market. So you're going to have to offer pretty low. So, okay. So I'm looking at this, like just first glance, I'm saying that probably most is like maybe a 120 to 130 after repair value, because you're seeing here like 0.2 miles away, a 2-1 went for 120. Okay. Now we could click on it and look at those images of what that property did look like that went for 120. Again, like you would take the time here. And once we're fully integrated here with the MLS, we'll be able to pull all this in app. So as of right now, like, you can kind of look at this property and say like ours would need to be in this kind of a condition. So kind of in the condition that our property is, like, hold on, let me start sharing this one. Like here's a comp that sold in April that's fairly close to it. This one's actually says it's a 3.2 or 3.1.5. So, I would say at best, this property is like a 120 kind of a market. So with that being said, like just looking at that property, it needs a lot of work. So, I would probably offer something almost offensively low, like 10 grand, 20 grand. I know you probably don't want to do that, but that's what you have to do with this offer.
Wait. Hold on a second, Jenna. So you're thinking the ARV is 120?
Yeah, like you can see.
Wait, Jenna, and that's after we put in perfect condition, like
potentially.
That does it need granite countertop?
No, like, so if this is like a 120, 130 neighborhood, in my opinion, like just again, I'm just first glance looking at it, because when I look at this, like when I look at this property, to me, it looks like it's in a rental neighborhood. So, I don't know why those pictures aren't pulling up here of it, but basically, to me, it looks like it's a rental kind of a property. And
wait, Jenna, the software can also tell us how much we can potentially rent it out for, right?
yeah, sometimes yeah. So it's a $1,400 to an $1,800
Like, dude,
neighborhood.
you guys, literally, it's a one-stop shop. Like, all of my questions is being answered right here. So it's renting for, you saying 1,400?
Yeah, I mean, it could. Yeah, that's basically what it's that neighborhood warrants, about 1,400 to 1,800. So you'll see here the system puts what's called an AVM, which is our automated valuation model. You'll see here this AVM. That kind of is basically, it's not to be confused with your after repair value. It's not to be confused with things like that. It's basically saying, like, what could this property sell on the market as it is in the condition that it is right now, which is actually almost spot on. Like, they have it at 99,902. They have it listed at 99,900. And so, like, this is pretty much a retail listing. So what we'd have to do is look at kind of like, where were we at? Like, the walls aren't terrible. The floors are okay. Like, this could be a decent rental. I mean, it has appliances. It's livable. It's move-in ready. Like, basically, these people just need to move their stuff out of there. And you could literally come in, and again, like, we would probably put an inspection contingency in there and just verify that everything's in good working order. But, like, really, I mean, this isn't a terrible one, but if you wanted to get it, like, if we know potentially could sell for like maybe 120, 130,
Perfect.
then I don't, Khang, I don't know what formula you typically use. If you do like a 70%, you times it by that and then minus out any repairs.
Yep.
And our offer may be 50 grand.
Yep. Correct. Jenna,
and,
I agree with you. So, you guys, here's what I'm going to put in the email, okay? So all I'm going to say is, hey, my partner and I, we're local investors. We buy, fix, and flip a lot of property in the area. I like to make you a cash offer on this property. Here's my cash offer. And the thing is, at the bottom, I would say, hey, if for some reason the seller doesn't accept this, we would love to hear a counter offer. You want to make sure the agent know that you're open for a counter. So you start your offer low, but you let the realtor know that, hey, I'm open for a counter offer. Can you get me a counter offer from the seller? Because if any seller or the agent will entertain your lowball offer, I can almost guarantee with you guys, there's motivation. Because without a motivation, who would look at your $50,000 cash offer? They'll be like, get the F out of here. But the reason why they respond back, there has to be motivation. And that's what we want. We want someone who'll be like, oh, 50K, you got to be a joke. But hey, let's give him a counter because, dude, we need to unload this shit. So I'm going to offer 50K. I'm going to ask them, hey, get me a counter offer. And then all it is now, you guys, is just negotiating back and forth. They're asking for 99K. We're going to offer them, like Jana said, 50K. Okay. And then obviously you need to know what's your max offer would be. I'll go as high as maybe 65, 70K. Put it on a contract, try and make $10,000 on this deal. And honestly, you guys, I don't want you guys to overcomplicate things. If you have time where you can do this 3-4 hours a day submitting offer, that's great. But imagine if you just submit 10 offer a day, cost you no marketing costs. You don't have to skip trace. Everything is right there for you already. If you just make 10 offer a day in the next 30 days, I'm telling you, consistency will outbeat you putting in 8 hours and then take like 10-day off. 10 offer per day. In the next 30 days, you have a 300 offer. And I can almost promise you that if you do that, you either get a deal or so close to getting a deal. Let even say that in 30 days, you got none. What if you do for the next 30 days and you do for 2 months and all of a sudden you get a deal that you can make $25,000 on? So now you just make about $12,000 a month if you split it in half. So what I'm saying is all you need is one yes. So the time that you put in versus the amount of money you make. See, I like to say, Jenna, it's not about what you do for work, it's not about how hard you work. It's what you do for work. Because you can choose to freaking work at a factory like I did, making $30,000 a year, or make $30,000 on one freaking wholesale deal. Same amount of work, same amount of time, but you make more money. Instead of making $30,000 a year, why not make $30,000 a month? So while I submit that offer, Jenna, can you show them exactly how to get access to the software? Because I know some of them don't know about the software.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, too, like, I'm not sure what stats you typically tell everybody, Khang, but I usually hear between 25 and 30 offers is what it takes to be able to get one offer accepted. So if we're out there and let's just say even in a week, if we're making 30 offers a week, that statistically will mean you're going to get an offer accepted every week if you're actively doing that. So guys, here's where you're going to have access to the software. So it's pretty simple. It's called Deals for Me Now. So the word deals, the number 4, MENOW.com. You'll come here and you're going to see where there's get started. Now there's there's 2 different packages, and we normally spend a lot of time breaking down these different packages. There's one that you can basically, if you see here, there's a monthly option where you can pay for it by the month. So it would be $97 a month or $199 a month, 2 different options. It just includes some additional lead types. It has additional coverage for the artificial intelligence. The best way that I can say, like if you're brand new and you're starting out and you don't have a lot of funds, start out with the basic version. If you're somebody who is full-time in real estate or eventually wants to transition into full-time real estate, then start out with the pro, because this is going to have all the tools that you're going to need to really streamline you and help you do things quicker, faster, more efficiently, so that way you're saving the time, because time is everything when it comes to this. So if you're having to do a lot of stuff more manually, that's completely fine in the beginning once you start learning it and understanding it. So 2 different options, or if you want to pay for the whole year, obviously if you pay upfront for the whole year, then it gives it to you cheaper. So it breaks down to where this one would be $83 a month times 12 at one time versus this one being $166 a month.
Jenna,
So a couple options there.
Hey, Jenna, I want to disclose this. For those of you who, okay, I don't know when you watch this video, but I do want to let those of you who watch this video later or who decide to get it later, this pricing is not guaranteed, which means it can go up. I'm thinking probably in the next month or two, this basic plan could, instead of $97 a month, is probably going to be about $149 a month. And instead of $199 a month, it's probably going to be about $249 a month. So for those of you who lock in the price today, just because the more thing they keep on adding to the software, it's like the early bird's the one that gets the discount. So I just want to disclose that, because I don't want you to watch this video a month or 2 months later and be like, hey, I thought it was for $97. Sorry.
Subject to change.
Subject to change. You're late in the game. Okay. Keep going, Jenna.
Yeah. So let me get back to showing here. Yeah. So those are basically your 2 different package options that you can kind of pick between. Again, you can always start here. You can always upgrade here. I mean, it's basically up to you, whatever is going to work for you price point wise. But the main thing is just getting into it, because pretty much what we're talking about here is going to be included in either one of these different packages. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, I'm pulling in a Texas actively listed property. Now, again, like I told you, we're pulling in all this data. We're working on it today. So that's why there's no images here right now, but this will give you more of a feel of what it will look and behave like with the phone numbers and things like that. So this is what.
Wait. Hold on a second, Jenna. I want to answer a couple questions, and then Jenna, what I want you to do is I want you to take us back from the beginning.
Okay.
Right? Where do I go? Where do I punch in the city, the states? Where do I get these active listing, etc.? Can we also get expired listing as well?
We will be pulling in expired listings, and this is all included in that price. And that's like one thing I do want to make sure I clarify. Expired listings will be an additional lead type, but it is going to be included in this. And again, this is why I agree with you, Khang. Let's say prices
hold on a second.
Now.
Include it in the basic plan.
Yes. So this will be included. So that's why if you're watching this at a later date, that price may have gone up by now, because this is a huge lead type that we're including in there. And so for the price that we're offering it, like you were kind of grandfathered in at the price point that you are now. So our system is always growing, always expanding. There are tons of other opportunities that you can upgrade the system to bigger things like commercial and all these different things. That's not what we're talking about today, because it will grow with you depending on wherever branch of real estate you go down. But if we were to start from the beginning here, this is your main user interface.
Hold on, Jenna. There's one thing that I like you to run across your team about this software. If they can add this to the software, I think this will make submitting offer way easier. If there's a way where they can where there's a contract that they get access to the contract on the software, they punch in the offer price and automatically fill out, they just put in the address.
Right? We have that.
What?
We have that.
in the software.
Yeah, and we'd
Wait,
even
wait,
have
wait, wait, wait,
talks.
wait. You're telling me the contract is already, they just need to change a couple of things and it can just one click and send it to an agent?
Yeah, so what we can do is it's something that we can do it. It's basically more towards adding in an additional feature into the
Right.
account, but we can do that. And so, we can kind of talk offline about it, but it's called our paperless office where you can go in there and there's different merge fields. And
Yep.
so basically there's different sections where you would just literally like click here. Okay. 30,000. Okay. Here's this, here's that. You just kind of put in those different areas and it merges it together in electronic format. And we're working on an integration with like a digital signature company. So once that happens, you can literally shoot these purchase and sell agreements out electronically in app
Like
coming up.
fast, efficient. I love it.
Yeah.
Hold on a second, Jenna. I got a couple questions I want to ask. King Kong, what's the difference between Deals for Me Now software and Buy Box Cartel? I don't know. I don't know Buy Box Cartel. I saw a video of the guy who talks about it, but I have never used it, so I don't know. But what I do can tell you, and I'm not here to bash on any software or any company. I can only tell you I've been in the game for 12 years. Jenna, how long you been in the game for?
11 and a half. You're
Well,
still
oh,
beating
wow.
me.
Okay.
Jeez.
And I have used so many different software and we always keep up on the latest, the best software. And I can tell you right now that this is the one that we're currently using that helped me make over $400,000 already just from the software this year alone. So that's all I can tell you. The choice is up to you. Okay. The next question is Toby asked me, does this have a D for D, which is driving for dollar? Jenna, we can roam around the streets, right?
Yes.
Right?
Do you want me to show that?
Yes, we can literally, you guys can literally drive for dollar virtually, just roaming around the streets. You can look at the property. If it looks distressed,
And
right
it's
there.
free. It's all part of the account. So
Oh,
yeah, I'll show that
Jesus,
to you
go
here.
ahead. And wait,
So yeah, so let me
Jenna,
share my
wait, hold on a second. And you can do that with just the basic account, right?
I'm it may just be the second version.
The pro.
So I do know it yes, at least 100% with the version that's the more the pro version. So let me go here. So I do know for a fact it will come here with this
Mm,
version. I'll have to double check if it is included in the basic
okay.
one. But just because the demo I'm in right now is the more advanced one. So I will be able to display it, but you'll see here, there's a free app that you can download from the Google Play or the App Store. It's basically our free app that basically will sync with your desktop. So you'll see here where it has connect to your account. So when you go in here, you'll create a username and password. It can be the same as your desktop. It can be different. It doesn't matter. A lot of times it's easier if it is the same. And then from here, you'll just go in and connect it. And it's basically a driving for dollars app. So you'll be able to drive around, find a property, find it geographically, and then save it into your database so that way then you can come right back into the system and see all the details on it. So you can do it right there in app.
Can you show me?
Show you
Drive for dollars.
I mean, I don't have it on my computer. Is that what you're meaning? Like it's just basically let me see. I'm not sure know if I can show it
Wait,
because I'm
wait,
on
Jenna.
Chrome.
So basically what I'm saying is like in the software, we can literally go into any city, any states, any zip code, and then look at the Google map view and then start moving around to find distressed property, right?
Yeah, so basically, I'm just trying to think if I can show it. I have like some like screenshot images because obviously, I'd have to pull this up on my phone, and I'm not sharing on my phone. But this is basically you'll take a picture of this, and it's just a free app that it's like a driving for dollars app. So if you're driving around, you'll find a property, and then you save it into your database. I'm just trying to think if like I have some mock images, but I don't know if it will let me pull it up. So let me
Okay.
see.
While Jenna, let's skip that for now, and then let's
Okay.
go ahead and move into what were you going to show them?
Oh, okay. So just to kind of pull it back here. So let me go back to sharing my screen here. You gotta be able to multitask here with all the clicking around. All right. But if we were to start back at the beginning, guys, like, so first off, like I showed you guys where you can get the software. So figure out which one is going to be right for you. Look at it as an investment. I mean, there's there's no way anybody can start a business and do anything without there being startup costs. Like, think of this as a startup cost. Like, if you're serious about this, if you do eventually want to get full time into this, I would recommend going with the second tier plan to start out with, because this is just going to help you get streamlined from the beginning. But we're just going to go into property leads. From here, you're just going to type in your geographic location. So if I was in Albany, New York, or wherever I wanted to go across the country, I'm going to click on active listings. Again, just understand that currently right now we are pulling in all this data, and we will be fully incorporated within the next month to 60 days nationwide, pulling in all this MLS data. So as of right now, basically in some areas it will be more MLS like data until we're fully pulling in all that information. But the whole purpose of this campaign is to be able to have a location where you can come together to be able to find those actively listed properties. And then from here, filter down to whatever best suits you. So if you come in here, you look at this listing info, this is where you can select days on market. So if you want properties that have been longer than 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120, like these are all levels of motivation. You can come in here and you can basically look at previous sale information. We can search by keywords, needs TLC, cracked slab, investor special, whatever you want to do. Like, you can, if you only want single family, then that's fine. Get rid of the rest of these different properties. If you want ones that have a certain loan to value ratio, if you want them to be only owned in people's individual names because you don't want to go after any sort of bank owned properties, you can do that. Like, literally the sky is the limit. Like, if you only want 3-bedroom, 2 baths, then find it. Like, that's completely fine. And then we're just going to look here and we have 83 results. Like, the whole purpose, like that Khang is telling you guys, is to come in here and sift through these, because we have to basically be like an assembly line powerhouse, because like we can make 83 offers today. And I'm going to guarantee you that I would probably say almost all of them are not going to be towards like what it's even listed for. And it doesn't matter, because we're going to be pulling properties that have been actively listed for so long that appear to be either vacant or need work. So these are the ones we're literally hunting and targeting. And then what happens is, when you click on any one of them, like this one happens, I don't know why it says sold on here, but like when you click on any one of these different ones, let's see if we can grab ones. Like, here's one right here. Like, this is one that I just clicked on. Like, does it look like it needs work? I would probably say yes. Here's an example of all those keywords: investor, or fixer upper, like if TLC, repairs. Like these, like we're literally coming in here and we are finding a on market deal. Like, is there a question if these people want to sell? Absolutely not. 100% they want to sell. Now it's up to us to pull the comps, which we can do in app. And then it's up to us to be able to reach out to the agent, which again, we're pulling in the email right here for this region. Once we integrate with Albany, then we'll be able to have the agent phone number as well. But you'll literally have their contact information right here. So if you can't see the kitchen, or if they didn't include the picture of the basement, then we can contact that agent and basically say, hey, can you, oh, they did include the basement. They probably shouldn't. But you can see here, what the quality of that property looks like in app. Like, we're literally pulling in images. We can walk through, very quickly estimate our repairs, and then literally make an offer in a matter of minutes. Like, we could be in and out of this property in minutes and move on to the next one. And then, okay. Like, actually here we are pulling in, this is previous. See this, Khang, this has literally changed since we started our demo here. Like,
Oh, wow.
this was because we're working on this now actively live, like as a company. So you can see here, like, look, like this was listed, and this is exactly what you asked for. And now it is, because you can see here, this one was listed originally in March of 2023, and then it sold. And then you can see here, here's the current listing and what it looks like. So you can see here, this is the previous images of it. So we can pull up these old images when it was listed before and see the quality that it was in. This is like literally my first time seeing this new, the new stuff hit it live, because I've just only been seeing the beta versions. So seeing this live, I mean, you can see the quality of this property, all the stats. We can scroll down. Like, you can see, all the stats when it was listed before, what it was listed for before, and what it's listed for now. You can see what it's sold for. Like, this is fascinating. Like, this is so unbelievable. Who owns it? We can see all the that they owe nothing on it. So they own it free and clear. And then all the financials, like when was it sold? Who is the lender? If there was one, stuff like that. I mean, it's just, It's unbelievable. Like this, what this campaign will do for you guys. So you make the offer and you move on.
Jenna, how long is this property on the market for?
27 days
Okay, for those of you who
right
watching,
now.
for those of you who watching this and you're following along, I don't know why you're not targeting this. I don't care if you're in California and this property's in Texas. We wholesale completely virtual. You don't have to meet the seller or see the property, right? Just send the agent an offer. Just make offer. All right. Don't overthink, right? Figure out what the property's worth, minus 30, 35%, whatever it is. Make offer, submit it through an email. Just because we don't have phone number, submit an email. And if you get an agent comes back and say, hey, your $50,000 ain't gonna work, but the seller's willing to do 75,000, you'll be like, okay, well, let me talk to my partner really quick. 30 minutes later, you email them back. You'll be like, hey, 75 or whatever it is, not gonna work. Would the seller be able to meet us in the middle and do for this much? All right. And literally, that's all you really have to do. It costs you nothing. What's up with this property, Jenna?
Yeah, so I was just clicking the next one. So like we would go to the next one. I don't have the filter on for it to be at least 30 days. So you can see like this one's only been on the market for 2 weeks. You can read the description about it. Again, we will be pulling in their phone number, but right now you'll just see the agent's name and their email. But then it's going to show you, the images. So you can click through, you can see what this property looks like. I mean, this is like a very well kept property, but things we want to look for, does it look vacant? Well, I mean, it's very well staged, but I'm not seeing a lot of personal belongings. So it may be staged. It may be an Airbnb. Like for them not to have anything on the counters, especially if we look in the bathrooms, if there's no toiletries, there's no toys, there's no clothes, there's no pet bowls, things like that. Like this one, actually, even though it doesn't look vacant because there's stuff, it looks like it's not lived in right now. Like it's very, I mean, maybe an investor did this one, so there's probably a story behind it, but it's very, very beautifully staged. And again, it's almost like you don't even need to look at this, what it's listed for, because it doesn't matter. Like we would still come in here, we would still pull comps, we would still see what it would sell for. Even if like it's like pretty much retail, like let's say that this is a $500,000 neighborhood. And let's say that this house has been on the market for, let's say, 100 days. I'm making an offer minus that 35% or whatever you had mentioned, Khang. Like if we say, okay, this is a $500,000 neighborhood, I'm going to times that 500,000 by my 0.70 or my 0.80 or whatever. And then I'm going to minus out any repairs that I would think. And that will be my offer. And it may be a $350,000 offer. And it may be so offensively low that the agent is embarrassed to present it, but it doesn't matter because there have been deals that I have got leveraging the same exact way where I've got it significantly less. Like there was a house in my area that was listed for $145,000. Fast forward 7 years later. And I know that you don't have to wait 7 years, but this one I just followed up on it and I got it for $35K 7 years later. I put 6 figures into it. I flipped it and I made over 6 figures profit on it because I stayed consistent with it. And they would have not taken that offer at that moment. But, we can come in here, we can see if there's any previously listed images, but it doesn't look like it has been. And then we would go to the next one and go to the next one and go to, like, this is the one that we were playing around with earlier. We would go to this one. And if we pull comps, and guys, this is fantastic because it's teaching you to learn your market. It is forcing you to know what properties are selling for in your area. It's forcing you to get into the trenches today and start pulling comps and estimating repairs and analyzing deals and making offers. And again, if you know, like it's going to desensitize you in a good way, because if you're making 25, 30 offers and hearing no every time, then when you're talking directly to a seller, you're going to it's not even going to phase you to make these low offers because you've been doing it so consistently that it basically makes you these like powerful real estate robots where it's like it literally hits you and it falls off like a shield. Because it's like, your numbers, what makes sense, you make it, okay, and I move on to the next one. I make my offer, I move on to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And then you have a good follow-up system because otherwise it's so important to make sure you're following up on these, that you are staying organized, that you create some sort of a system so that you can revisit these in a month or 2 months or 3 months or a week or whatever you feel the follow-up should be on this particular deal.
I love it. So the thing is, when I remember getting into my real estate career and I hired my mentor, and he tells me to make an offer based on, ARV minus 30% minus repair, and that'll be your offer. And I'll be like, dude, so you're telling me that this house is worth 200,000 and I have to offer the seller 105? I say, bro, dude, like I was so embarrassed. I was like, dude, I don't know if I can do that. And he said, Khang, focus on what matters. You know what matter, dude? What matter is you need to get that money. And he said, yes, majority of them will say no. But he said, Khang, all it takes is one of them to say yes. And that one yes will make you 25K, bro. So are you afraid to make the offer, or are you afraid on losing out on the 25K? I said, I'm afraid to lose on the 25K. So he said, dude, if you're not embarrassed to make your offer, then your offer is not low enough. Listen, start low, and they say no, it's okay. Jenna said it. Follow up with them a week later and say, hey, I chat with you about a week ago about your offer or your property. Hey, you still interested in selling it? Is it still available? Oh, great. Okay. I know that last time I made an offer of like 105. I know it's too low for you, but you know what? We have looked at the property again, and I would like to make you a new offer. You can always go up in price, but first you ask them, hey, so what do you guys, hey, so what do you think about our cash offer that I made from last time? No, it's too low. Okay, not a problem. I mean, I understand 105 is too low, but hey, would you consider 115 today? Would you consider 120? And then now that you come up on price, now you might get the seller to start talking price with you. Okay. So it's okay to make that low ball offer. Don't be afraid. The worst case is they just click, hang up on you, cuss you out. It's okay. It ain't going to hurt.
Yeah. I always say they can't take your birthday.
They
There was
can't take your birthday.
there was a couple
Like that.
questions here. Somebody had asked about, let me pull this up here. Somebody had asked about, well, how do I get the money for repairs? Well, first off, we're talking about wholesaling, so we're not necessarily repairing, rehabbing here. But also, secondly, another question was, well, how do you get proof of funds? And so one of the things that I did want to show everybody on the left side navigation, you're going to see that there's a financing section. So with this, you can come in here and get a pre-approval letter, or actually, if you did want to rehab it, you can qualify and apply for a loan to actually rehab it. So it's just going to be very simple. I mean, it's not running you through credit right away. It's just basically seeing where you stand, but then you're going to get a pre-approval letter. And kind of like what you mentioned, Khang, as far as like, it's almost like you're anticipating getting your offer accepted. So typically, like, you gave them like a really good like rundown of, here's what I'm going to say in it. Like, here's the subject property, here are my contingencies, here's my amount, here's my down payment, blah, blah, blah. And I usually, in mine, I'll usually say, attached is a copy of my earnest deposit check. So I'll even go as far as different times actually making out an actual check for the $500 down, and I'll include a copy of it. Now, obviously, if I never have to submit that check or ever give it unless that offer is ever accepted. But I'll say, attaches my proof of funds letter and a copy of my earnest deposit check. And if you need my incorporation documents, just let me know. I'll say, like, once my offer is accepted, I'll send you over my incorporation documents. Like, you're literally like taking it to the next level. And it's like, then you copy and paste that every single time. Okay. Hey, agent, here's the address of the property. Here's the amount. Here's a copy of this, this, and this. And you have it. Like, if you're an incorporated business, you have that. If you have a check that you can basically write out as earnest deposit and then just void it afterwards if you don't get your offer accepted. And I showed you where to get proof of funds. Like, if you want to be serious about this, like, act as if, guys. Like, I'm not saying like fake it till you make it, but act as if, like, be serious. If you really want to start doing this on the level that you see amazing people like Khang doing these deals, like, he's not getting hung up on like, oh, I don't have this one document, like I can't make an offer. No, he's figuring out a way. Like, he's sitting here and making offers in Albany. He's not even from there. Neither am I, but we're comping them in 2 seconds because it only takes like a matter of minutes. Like, you guys should be in and out of these deals in under 5 minutes. And again, you're putting in your offers with contingencies. So if and when, oh my gosh, lo and behold, you get that offer accepted, which is the plan, then you can go back in and decide, do I even want this? Can I renegotiate it? Like, heck yeah, you can. Like, nobody's forcing you to move forward on it, but you got to get there first. So you got to get to the finish line first to see if you even want what's at the finish line.
Love it. Jenna, I'm so glad that you point that out, because I know that I remember when I first started and then I submit offer to an agent, and I was telling my mentor, anyway, I submit offer. He said, Khang, if you don't have a contract, you don't have nothing. So anyways, and an agent respond back and say, hey, the seller's ready to move forward with your offer, I freaking freak out. Like, I was so scared and I was so nervous because I like, oh my God, what should I do now? So I pick up the phone and I call my mentor and I talk to him. But just like Jenna said, right? Once they accept your offer, you can be like, okay, let's move forward, let's proceed. And then you have that 15, typically the agent will allow you, depend on, who you work with, but majority of them give you 10 to 15 days to inspect the property. Now you don't need to hire a home inspector. And if you're going to do this completely virtual, what we do is we put under contract. Once you have it under contract, we got 10 to 15 days to market the deal to find our buyers. And let's just say we can't find a buyer for the deal. You just call the agent back and say, hey, as we're looking more into it, my partner's having cold feet. So we want to cancel and back out of the deal. And that's it. The agent can't force you to close on the deal. They cannot force you to buy the property because you're still within your inspection period. So within that 15 days, you have the rights, my friend, to back out, cancel the contract, get your earnest money deposit back. So even if you write a check for $10,000 EMD, you can get that $10,000 back. As long as you went within that inspection period, you should be good to go. All right. So hopefully that will relieve a lot of you, because I know some of you will be like, oh my gosh. Okay. And another question before we end this is, someone said, do you need an LLC in each state? The answer is no. When I first started, I put everything under my personal name. So you can put the property in a contract under your personal name. But once again, if you're serious about that, you're like, Khang, this is what I want to do. I want to go all into wholesaling. It only costs you between $250 to $500 to get your LLC set up. So if you got the money, like if spending $250, $500, it's not going to break your bank account, then yes, I would do it, right? Get an LLC. But if you don't have that money, you can put everything under your name. Now, do you need an LLC in each state that you wholesale? The answer is no. You just need one wholesale or one LLC from your states or whatever states you're in, or you want to incorporate in, and you can literally submit offer and just run off of that one LLC in that one state. So it's not like I'm from Washington State, and then if I were to do wholesale in California, I need to open up another LLC. Okay, so it's just one LLC. You can operate from anywhere. Okay. Anyways, I think that's everything that I got, and I'm running out of time, Jenna. I want to say thank you so much for jumping on and doing this with me. I appreciate it. And if you guys want me to bring Jenna back again, because maybe we'll bring her back again when there's more stuff to it, and we can talk about other lists that we can target, and then we can go from there.
Yeah, this is just one list. This is just one topic. I mean, there's so much to talk about with this. So I look forward to hanging out with you again and hanging out with all your friends here.
Awesome, Jenna. I have always want to ask you this. Can you say, the catchphrase, right? Let's what, Jenna? Let's go get this.
Oh, go get them. What do you say, like the Monet?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say something about like being a little bitch, and I wasn't sure if that's what we were saying.
I just like how you say it. Thank you so much, Jenna. I appreciate you.
I'll see ya.
Have a good one. All right, you guys, each and every single one of you, I appreciate all of you. But for those of you who be like, hey, Khang, I want to work alongside with you and your team. I need help. I want more of a hands-on coaching to get you start making $20,000 a month. And if you're serious, you have the work ethic, you have the commitment, you have the drive, the ambitions. You just need guidance, support. You need the tools, the training, the resource, 24/7 support, the guidance to help you get there. And you got to be coachable. All you need to do is go to coachwithkhang.com, fill out an application. I'm looking to take on 5 action taker who's ready to invest in themselves and ready to spend the next 5 months with me. We got about 4 months left before the year end. Hopefully I can help you stack at least $50,000 in the bank by the end of the year. And honestly, when I look at that, 2 wholesale deal, $25,000 pop. If you put in the work and you committed, I can't see why that is not possible. Anyways, I appreciate each and every single one of you that are here with me. I hope that this video add a lot of value to you. And if it does, and if you want me to bring Jenna back, we can talk about other things that are within the software and how you can leverage it to become the best real estate wholesaler investor in the game. Smash the thumbs up, comment down below. Until next time, you guys, take care, and let's go get this money. I'm out.